All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil with Conscious Evolution and the Bones.
What's
How you
up?
doing, brother?
What's happening, man? You
Same
got it?
old, man. Living the dream.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
heard that.
So today we want to do a show about the lionsgate. This portal that's going on right now on August 8th is the actual date of this lionsgate. And we wanted to talk about that because that's something that's I think it's a really big shift that's occurring right now on the planet with the collective consciousness, the collective energy, and individually you can really begin to shift yourself into the next dimension or higher frequency or consciousness right now. And we have
Yeah.
we're so supported by our star families, our star beings. I don't know. I might lose some people with that one, but it's so true to me when I just said it and I just started getting the tingles all over. So I know it's true. And I feel it and I sense it when I talk about these things. So I there's so much going on. There's so much energy. I don't know about you. I haven't told you. I haven't really told anybody, but I've been feeling like intense energy every day that I wake up. Every morning, it's like I have that like antsy feeling, that just that uncomfortable energy that's around me, and I don't
Right.
enjoy it. But
Yeah.
so
But you need to create. You need to start creating some shit. Anything, everything. Because right now this is the time. And like you said, this is the time to level up. We actually this whole year everybody's been suffering from going through this purge. And I've heard them say that some of the people have said that the universe literally worked in our favor to help clear us of this baggage and our shadow work and help purge us of these negative or these just this baggage we've been carrying that's kept us from going to a higher frequency. And now we're in this, like, this is the time. The bus is here. The door is opening. If you want to go somewhere, now's your time. You've been clearing out all your shit. You've got rid of it. Hopefully, I know I've purged all kinds of shit this year, but now's the time. If you want to level up, like you said, on the 8th, that's when Sirius, that's when the power of, in the ancients considered Sirius our spiritual son. That was, what they considered, that was the portal to the other dimension, the higher dimension, to where the light is. And, Sirius is a big deal. You hear a lot of people talk about Pleiadian energy and Lemurian or whatever, all these other energies or whatever there is. But Sirius that's the bad boy. Sirius is, if you look up, it talks to you. If you're into stars, Sirius is constantly just, it feels like to me that it's communicating with me every time I look up at it. And it's really been the planet that I most, I've hear a lot of people talk about starseed stuff and coming from different star systems. And Sirius has always been as a star system that I actually kind of relate to or resonate with a little bit. So it's always, for some reason, stuck with me. So now, and my energies right now it's insane. I'm shifting. I'm making big changes with a lot of different things. There's a lot of things that I've just been kind of like riding along, and I'm no longer going to ride along on certain things, man. In my life, I'm driving. I'm driving now. I'm things have been shifting for me ever since it started a little bit before the weekend that we all had that deal, and then that weekend really set things in motion. And then this planetary alignment that we're in right now, and and then you've got right now the moon is in Libra, which is my sign, and going to Scorpio for 2 days, and then Sagittarius. So right now today is the day you're making your judgments. Tomorrow's the day you're going to bring the gauntlet down. Thursday or Friday is when you're going to be making peace with it. There's going to be a lot of shit happening if you allow it. If you close your eyes and don't jump in this, you're at the lake, man. If you're going to swim, now's the time to jump. It's time. You don't leave and say, "Oh, I wish I would have swam." No, you're here. It's time. if you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And you start talking about the stars. Look at the book I just started reading. It says you're the only astrology book you ever need. It's got
Yeah.
everything, so you can do all your charts, your planet charts, sun charts, where all the planets are in alignment with your sign when you were born. When I did my QHHT session, this was one of the things that came up. That I should look into this more, that I should look into the planets and the alignments and the energies associated with that, because they all have certain energies attached to them, and
Yes.
depending on their alignments and where you align with those alignments, it really, it can really help you make decisions or decide when to take that leap, or maybe when
Yes.
to
Yeah.
sit on the sideline for a minute, So I'm really, really interested in that, and started reading that the other night. So it's very, it's a lot of information. So it's a big task for me to take on.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it, and I really want to know my charts and everything. But anyways, what you were saying, like, yeah,
Well,
it is time to jump in the lake.
yeah.
You don't have to. Obviously, you have free will, and you can choose not to. But that's why this energy is here. It's happening. It's to create that opportunity for you to be able to shift and to level up. I like how you said that, level up into the next highest good, the next highest consciousness or frequency that you can get to right now, that you're ready for right now. And now is the time for that. I mean, not even just the portal. I mean, the lionsgate. There's other portal dates that have happened. There's two of them. One was the 1st and the 3rd, and then there's this gate on the 8th. And this whole week, and I think it goes to the 13th, or at least to the 8th.
It's yeah. This whole next week or two is so powerful, and it's not only that. That Venus is coming up with the Sun, I think, which is love energy. This is like, if you're looking for your twin flame, if you're looking for a promotion, if you're looking to switch jobs, if you're looking to invest and partner up with somebody and do a business deal, whatever. Now's your time. And the reason that I kind of got into astrology was because I started noticing around the full moon, my synchronicities would go off the charts, my energy, the way I would feel. And I started noticing that, certain other times I'd feel like shit. I would be purging. There would be people in my life that would come out of the woodwork that I'm not wanting to come out of the woodwork, And it's like I started noticing there's something to this planet, moving around in these certain astral planes or these certain galactical planes that are creating these ebb and flows of energy for me. And I want to know when my shit's on, because that's when I'm shucking and jiving. I want to know, when should I go left? When should I go right? And once I start to learn and start to realize what's going on with the astrology, because as above, so below, just like we're all, we have Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Sunday around, and we're working these days of the week. Well, the planets doing the same thing. It has its own rhythm, its own timing, its own, and you have to know when to move, man, and when not to move, and when to kind of, lay low and stay out of the way, because, you're going to run into some shit out there. And then there's times where you're the boss, where you're running the show and you're taking over. And right now is that time for everybody. And all of us, or at least for me, it seems like a lot of people have been eating a lot of shit lately. They've been really just purging and feeling, these storms and the solar storms, and just feeling this energy. And it's like, you can't, enjoy the ascension process, because it seems like you're just, with all this. But now it's time. The mud's coming off, man. The ray of sunshine is hitting you. It's like, it's on, man. It's on. So do your thing right now. Whoever you are, if you're listening to this and that resonates with you, make your moves. If you're thinking about making a move right now, the universe is in your favor, working for you, working with you. So it's time to do it.
Yes. The universe is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. That's what you want to say. Always. Things are not happening to you. Things are happening for you.
Right.
always, because you are the creator of your reality. Now we are co-creating this reality together, so we all have a part and piece. We can't control everything, but for the most part, you are creating every aspect of your life, all your experiences. So when these pains are coming up, they're coming up right now for a reason. Now with Lori Ladd, I know a lot of our listeners are familiar with Lori Ladd. She did a video recently that was talking about to ask the Syrians for help during this process, for like the next 2 weeks. She did this back like a week ago. So for this past week and this next week, she said if you want to, if you the Syrians said in their transmission, they did like group work with the Syrians. They said that to ask them to invite the Syrians into your space and ask them to activate, assimilate, and to anchor you into the next highest frequency that's for your highest good. And when things and thoughts and whatever emotions you're feeling start to come up, ask them for help to clear it. And they'll come in and clear. I've been doing it every day for like a week now, and every time I invite them in and ask that, I feel it. I mean, I'm feeling it now just saying it. And when things come up, once I realize that these things are to be cleared, that it's for healing, I ask them for the help, and they do. And it feels like it just goes away really easily after that.
Yeah.
And hold on, computer's falling. So everything that you're feeling, if you're feeling any like intense energy for no reason, like I have, I mean, it could be your energy that needs to be cleared, or it could be you're picking up on collective energy, because that's, we're all very empathic and we can feel the energies. And some people's purposes, a lot of our purposes are to clear the collective energy. So you pick up on that and you clear it out. That's kind of like your gig here on earth. If you're feeling more detached from things that used to bring you joy, or your daily routines, your mundane things, if you're feeling more detached from that, that's a sign also that that's no longer your path. So start thinking about what you really want to do with your life, or if you've been thinking about it, and maybe like Bonesy said, now's the time to act on that. Another thing I wanted to say is in our dreams. I know I've had some strange dreams. Africa's had some strange dreams lately. And Luna Ash said that we're doing a lot of healing in our dream state now. So you could be playing out things that you need to heal, but you're not consciously thinking of them. Your subconscious is doing it for you. Your higher self and your star family are assisting you on this, and they're playing out these realities in your dreams, and that allows you to heal and purge those energies, because your body feels it and you go through it, sit with it, and purge it. Also, if you're feeling more exhausted, I know I've been getting like sleepy spells in the middle of the day, like heavy, and I sit down and meditate for like 20 minutes and just calm my mind, and it seems to like recharge me, which is kind of really nice. And so a lot of people feel these like emotions or feelings that are like need to be cleared, but it's not all that. Sometimes you feel that love emotion, that heart center activation can really open you up and really show you who you really are, what that true love feeling is. And that's amazing. And I've been getting a pretty good balance of it, because I'd say like 60% of the time I'm consciously thinking of how to stay in a good state of feeling, a good happy state to where I'm like vibrating. I'm always trying to think of that. When I get outside of that, I'm like, okay, find a better thought, find a better thought, find a better thought. And oh, sorry, man, that was weird. I just saw something go across the side of my this is a very new beginning right now. This is the beginning of a new galactic year. And this is also a new energy that we're coming into. And this is a new cycle. This is the start of a new 13,000 year cycle. We've been in the divine masculine energy for 13,000 years. And we've now shifted into the divine feminine energy. And
Yes.
For 13,000 years. So we haven't been in this energy for 13,000 years, and no modern human has experienced this, and I'm really excited about it. So the light is just growing and growing and growing, and the darkness is gonna going to rebel. It's going to go through its fear campaigns and all this, that, and the third. But, you know, the light, the dark can't exist in the light, you know, like it can't. Well, it does because of duality, but, you know, you shine your light, the darkness goes away.
Right. Yeah. And, well, I was going to add to that, but I totally forgot what I was saying. So into you, listen to you, what you were saying.
Oh,
But, you know, the Cirrus energy, another thing about that too is, at least from what I understand, like right now, you said we were into this 13,000 year cycle. Right now is when the pyramids, the way they were built, or the way they were lined up with certain planetary systems, and I think Sirius is one of them.
mm-hmm.
I think they're in alignment right now. Like and that's why a lot of people speculate that the pyramids were built back way like 13,000 years ago. Just because of the water erosion, because the fact that Sphinx, was when we were in Leo at that time, so right now the pyramids are actually coming into play again for the first time in thousands of years. So it's going to be interesting to see just what actually does transpire. I mean, on our level, there's shit going on with us as far as the collective and all of us, but who knows what is really going to happen next? Who knows? Because we're getting into this time period galactically to where, all of the ancient cultures who are like highly advanced, we're talking about right now. We don't know what's coming, but I mean, I can feel it. I feel something's coming. I feel it. I got chills on me thinking about it. I like you said, you get up and this energy is almost overwhelming. It's it's anxiety almost, because something's about to happen. You feel it's bubbling up, and you don't know what's really going to happen. But I know something's happening, and I know that the way they're putting it is, this is our time. This is what we've been suffering and what we've been going through is for now. It's for now. For now we can shine our light. We've been through the shadow work. We've been through the mud. We've felt these shitty energies. We've purged, and for those of us who are on this path of ascension, who are trying to raise frequency, this is the time. This is it. Those people who are like, well, I haven't been feeling it, or I haven't been able to. This is your time. This is when you can do it. This is it's time to meditate. It's time to get on it. It's time to get your focus right, get your thoughts right, and every time a shitty thought comes in, replace it with a good thought, and just continue to work it. You got to work it, because them shitty thoughts come. Even like, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I'm still, I still have to every day say, why am I thinking that? And then change my thought to something good and replace those other thoughts, because I've been doing it for so long, it just comes without me thinking about it. Yeah. And next thing I'm like, why am I thinking about this person who pisses me off every time I think about them? Why am I, devoting any energy to that? So, yeah, so anybody who struggles with this, it's common. It's we all struggle. Everybody doesn't have a perfect day every day. Everybody doesn't live in this love every day. It's something that we have to work on. We have to work on it. And at times like this, you have to take advantage of. You have to now it's time. Because you've got momentum. You've thrown a punch and it's going. The giant's going back, and you're throwing another punch. You're coming at it. You've got the momentum. You're coming at it now instead of it coming at you. So
yeah, I like that. And what you said about the things coming up, or you're thinking about somebody that triggers you, for one, triggers are blessings. Those thoughts are kind of blessings, because they're kind of like a guide. That's your guidance system on what needs to be worked on. It's almost like, the way I think of it, is your higher self is bringing that thought to the forefront of your mind, so you can begin to hear that, or to change your perspective on it, so it no longer affects you in the same way. And I was listening to Joe Dispenza earlier. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Oh yeah.
That he said 70% of us spend our lives in survival and stress. 70% of the time we are in a state of survival and stress. And that means our bodies are functioning in that fight or flight mode for 70% of our life. And that shuts down all your body functions that create that fight diseases, that prevent diseases, so that's why we're just getting sick. Everyone is sick that's not. And when you awaken to this, like, I wish I could show you a picture from 4 years ago when I weighed 275 pounds, and it wasn't that long, and it hasn't been that long since I started making a change in my life, and how much has changed in such a short time because of how I see myself now. And I didn't work out. I didn't really change the way I ate that much. I just, changed portion control, but I still ate the same things. It doesn't really matter what you eat. It's how your consciousness is, how you think about your food. If you think that this is a terrible meal that's not healthy for you, then your body's not going to digest it properly. It's not going to get what it needs out of it. But if you know that your body knows what it's doing and your body can handle the foods that you throw at it, and you enjoy it and love it, no matter what it is, your body's going to process that normally with the love. Everything's about love. And this is what made me bring this up, because this made me think about one of your older videos when you were talking about people with their fear, or their anger rather, the anger they get. Like, they're sitting in traffic normally at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they get that anger triggered, and it becomes an addiction, and they're addicted to that anger. And then when you remove yourself from that, then your body's like, okay, well, it's time to get angry. Why aren't we getting angry? So let's go. Come on, it's angry time. And that's like the beginning of shifting out of that, and really replacing that anger with something else, rewiring the neurons in your brain to do that.
You have to. Yeah, you have to, because your hypothalamus is what, in that area, is where the chemicals come from. And your cells have receptors that, and these chemicals come and lock in. And your body itself physically becomes addicted physically to anger, gambling, love, hate, fear. You literally, your body craves it after you fed it that same thing, even though it's unhealthy, even though it's not good for you, and it's causing inflammation. And inflammation is what causes all disease. And the lack of flow, the lack of that balance is what causes inflammation. It's anything that gets stopped up, it begins to inflame, and it begins to, and that's where disease starts in. But like I say, if you replace the thoughts and you start to send, instead of that anger every day, you start to send love. At first, your cells are, they're going to be like, just going through their Jones and going through withdrawal. They need that shit. Well, after a week or two, maybe 3, it changes. Now you start to become addicted to the love and the happiness and the joy. And then when you don't have it, your body is craving it, and you start to seek out, instead of constantly looking for the dude who's pissing you off, you're constantly looking for a video or a song or something that lifts you up. And you're in that lift me up state, and you're in that lift me up mindset, and you're feeding that to your body, and your body is, your cells are just like, yes, and they're loving it. But they can go back to the other shit so fast because they're addicted to it. So you can go a year or two in this love thing, and if you've been in the shit storm for 20 years, as soon as you have that thought, your cells are like, yeah, feed it to us, yeah, they're wanting it, give it to me, because I've been eating this shit for 20 years. So you really have to, and we always talk about this, be conscious of your thoughts, because that's everything that you are. As far as your happiness and your sadness and your fear and your joy is the way you think of yourself and others. But the way you think of yourself is going to be a reflection of what you think of others. So really, like you always say, and like I always say, you got to work on yourself and love yourself. Start with if the only thing you got good about yourself is a forehead, then focus on your forehead. If it's your hand, focus on your hand. Look at it on every chance you get. And then move up your arm. Say, my arm ain't that bad. My arm's better than half the people out there. Then look at your knee. Hey, my knee's pretty good. Start finding those things and adding them up and building on it and building on it and building on it. And finally, you'll get to a point where you're like, I'm perfect. why was I even questioning anything? Because I am absolutely perfect. I'm me. I'm like awesome. I'm awesome. No matter what I look like or what I'm shaped like or what color I am or how tall I am or how short or whatever. I'm freaking perfect. And when you get to that place, man, just everything, shit falls away. There's all this crud and these things and these boundaries and these borders and fences and, you know, all this stuff that's like in your way, and it all falls away, man. And you're just like, oh my God, that's all I had to do. That's all I had to do, and solve everything in the world. You no longer care about politics. You no longer care about the news. You don't care. You don't even care if a storm's coming. You don't care.
Mm-mm.
You don't care about anything because everything is fine. Everything is perfect. It's a good place to be, man. I keep on trying to get, you know, back into it, back into it. Like I say, I'll get out of it a little bit, come back into it. And I'm starting to notice these cycles have to do with planets, have to do with the moon. And now I'm starting to realize it, and I'm starting to, like, you know, on those shitty days are the times, you know, like for me, it's right after the full moon, about a week after the full moon, I just, pew, goes down. This love thing is kind of gone. The, you know, reality of the world all around me is back, you know, and it's like, it takes me, so now I know just to be aware of that and realize, you know, this is going to pass just in about a week. Everything's going to get, I'm going to start getting that lift again, and it's going to build and build and build and build and build to that full moon again. At least for me, that's my cycle that I'm noticing. And it could be something I'm creating in my own imagination.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
But whatever, it doesn't matter as long as I'm going with it and it's working for me. You know, that matters. So
that's all that matters. But you know, knowing those cycles can you that you notice that week that you're kind of off the love, you can start focusing in that week prior to that of what you're going to do for that week, and how, you know, what I like to do is create exercises or like routines almost in the morning that I do that put me into that love state, at least for the beginning of the day. So that's how you start your day. And then, you know, usually by the end of the day, I like to do another meditation to keep me or refresh me into that thing and wash away the day's energy that, you know, all the other people's energy you pick up on, or the thoughts that you had that came up out of nowhere, the healing that you're doing. You know, there's a lot of energy work. And now today, in this energy on this planet, it's more about what you do for your light body more so than what you do physically.
Right.
And that's I've heard that from a couple people and from channeled messages, and that resonates with me, and that's so important to me now. Like, I focus on my energy more so than any other physical activity that I do. And I'm constantly working here and doing a lot of things, but if my vibration is in a place of feeling good, then everything else just kind of happens with the flow. You know, it's going with the flow of the river. You know,
that's because you're shifted. And a lot of us have. We're going from the carbon base to the crystalline or whatever. You know, where you know, we are the frequency now, or we always have been, but we haven't known, and we haven't, like, you know, you don't know to maintain something until you know to maintain it. Like, until you realize, wow, maintenance on this makes this a lot better. You know, you've lived in it, you know, whatever, but maybe you've had a problem with trees or your grass, and you know, broadleaf, let's just use that for an example. We found out, well, if I spray this broadleaf, you know, it took you years to figure out, if I spray this beginning of the season, I won't have this problem. So you begin to realize the maintenance, you know, and that's exactly where we're at now. Now that we're aware, now that we know, we can see when things are bad, and we know we need to maintain this, and we know we need to work on it, because everything else comes with it. The way we eat comes with it. The way we sleep comes with it. The way we communicate comes with it. The way we love comes with it. How happy we are doing work or doing projects or doing whatever comes with it. Everything is going to come from that, because now, you know, you're a higher frequency being. You're a different being than you were. You're a different being. And I mean, it's literally that simple. You're just a different being.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that's why I'm so drawn to this lionsgate thing, because if you choose to be you can be in a completely different person in the next couple of days, in the next week.
Yeah.
You know, you can really shift and change your energy that much almost overnight. Like
Yeah.
if you're committed to it, and if you understand how it works, or at least have an idea of the basis of energy and how it works in our bodies, and really you don't even need to know that. If you know that having a good feeling thought makes you feel good, you will balance yourself out. If you keep thinking those thoughts, you keep doing that. You know, if you think of a thought for 17 seconds, it'll build, and you build that momentum, and you keep that momentum going. So it's the same thing with the other side, though. If you're thinking about that thought and you entertain it, you keep letting it build, you're going to build that momentum to where it's eventually going to manifest in your physical reality.
Yeah.
So
What's nice about now, though, is like, let's say that you do want to make a change, and people out there, I'm sure that are listening to this, some of them are wanting to make a change, and they've not really been able to pull the trigger. All they have to do now is think about it. All they have to do now is just think about it and want it, and things are going to start to line up. And if they pay attention, there's going to be somebody who comes into their life. I mean, the universe is working for you right now in a way that it's never done in a long time. You know, if you think I want, and you say it, I want this situation to change, shit's going to start happening, man. It's going to go into motion. You have to believe that, because it will. Next thing you know, there's this person with this opportunity, and you're like, holy shit, believe it, go for it. You know, continue to just believe that and keep going in that direction. Don't get scared, whatever you do. Don't back up and say, oh gosh, it's a dream, you know, it's too good to be true, or, you know, no, do it.
that's
Just do
programming.
it. Live.
That's your programming. It's like if something seems too good to be true. Sometimes things are like scams, but you know you should have the discernment to figure that out if it's a scam or not. But if something's happening, like one of my affirmations I used to say every day was, I expect things that are too good to be true to happen to me every day. And I expect miracles, and I do, and they happen. Like things are always working out for me. The universe supports me. Everything is working for me, not against me or not to me. It's happening for me. And that's so important to have that mindset that way, because then you start to analyze things a little. You see things a little differently. You know, you see, you know, something happens to you, you can see like, okay, well, I created that. So no
Unless,
matter what happens, if something good happens, I created that. Something bad happens, I created that. What did I do? What vibration was I offering that created that bad thing or that good thing? Really concentrate on the good thing, because you want to keep being that. The universe is going to reflect the vibration that you're offering. And the universe is like a machine. Aaron Daugherty said this the other day, that the universe is like, because he said he used to do these visualizations, and he would, you know, expect his life to change because he's visualizing it. But like we said on a recent show, that you have to do something. You do have to take some kind of action towards it. You do have to get out there and mingle with people, or at least go out and put yourself out there a little bit to give your higher self that opportunity to line you up with those people that are going to help you, with those synchronicities that are going to lead you in that way. But what he said is, like, when you say something like, I want to be wealthy, the universe says yes. Yes, you do. And okay, you know, the same thing. So it just says, yeah, it agrees with you, and it's going to show you those things. But if you don't align with that vibration, if you don't do the work to get there, how's it going to reflect in your physical reality? Like, we're not at a point to where I can manifest my car into a freaking Corvette. You know, it's like, it's the reality that we see, and it is a reflection of your inside. It's like, as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is so important with that. The video I did yesterday, about that EFT tapping technique, the mixed with like a partial of the Hoponopono prayer, that I found was very powerful, and that got rid of physical pains for me yesterday by doing that. It
right?
was it was awesome. But that's like a vibration shifting exercise, so that you being aware that you're not in perfect alignment and doing something to take action for that. You know, just for a small example.
Yeah. And I would like to add, not trying to change the subject, but kind of going back to what I was talking about. Anybody that, anybody that's having these dreams, you had mentioned something about dreams or thoughts of your life in a certain way, because you came here, there's a life purpose, there's a life story that you came here to live out, to play out. It's probably not the story that you're living right now. It's probably not what, this is probably not why you came here. And you may start having visions of yourself. You may start thinking, oh, I could see myself being a dancer, or I could see myself being an actor or whatever. And you have a dream about it, or you have a thought about it, or it just feels right to you. You need to pursue those things, because you're going to start seeing things about yourself right now. This is, like you said, 8-8, that's the infinity sign. It's very powerful. The 8-8 thing is this lionsgate thing is very powerful. And when you start having these thoughts of who you might be other than who you really are right now, that's probably who you really are. That's probably who you really are supposed to be. And it's time to start aligning yourself with that. You're not going to be able to quit your job and go straight to acting, but you might be able to start, looking into acting lessons and find a local theater or something where you can, or, whatever. And whatever it is you're thinking about yourself, you might think, I want to be this or that or what, but I'm just saying, start moving in that direction. If it's something that feels right or sounds right and it just come out of the clear blue sky, I'm telling you, things are going to come out of the clear blue sky for us right now. It's going to be insane if you're open to this and you're expecting this and you're grateful for this already. Things can change for you.
Absolutely. And that's something we didn't touch on until just now, is the appreciation and being grateful for the things that are always working out for us, or things that manifest in our life. Appreciate everything. Appreciate the trees, appreciate your house, appreciate yourself, love and appreciate you above all else. And everything else is kind of like, every day, we say we're so grateful and appreciative of all that we've had, all that we've accomplished, all the abundance that we have around us and in everything. And, be grateful and appreciative of the air you breathe. The air you breathe is a consciousness. Everything is its own energy and its own consciousness. It's its own sentient being that's coexisting with us, helping us and sustaining us in this planet. The planet is a sentient being, and it has its own higher self, its own aura. It's all part of that system that it's all working for us. Everything is happening for us. We are supported so heavily, and that's really a powerful thing. And it's another thing I wanted to say, that you're never alone. Even if you are alone right now and you don't have anyone to talk to, like when we first woke up, we didn't have anybody to talk to about this, other than the YouTube people that we met. Like Bonesy was the first person I met outside of the people that I knew and that I could talk to about these things. And, we created this to share that with you guys. And I forgot. Oh yeah, I was just saying that when you first start going through your shit, when everyone's calling you crazy and this, that, and the third, you're not crazy. You're not alone. There are people that will support you. I don't mean like financially, but I mean they will support you, your goals and your mission in life. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with too. But if you don't have it now, don't like freak out. Just be open to it. You may be in a hermit phase. That's like the beginning of this. You go into that isolation because you have a lot of inner work to do. So if you really focus on that, if you don't meditate, I really suggest and recommend getting into meditation, because it will change your life. You can slow down your brain and just sit with these thoughts. You can create your own realities. You can create your own universes. You can create everything. And the thing about the brain is, if you're truly present in the now moment in your meditation and your visualization, the brain cannot tell the difference if that's false or if that really happened. It doesn't know. So if you're really in that now moment and you're creating that visualization so realistic that the brain believes it really happened. So if you create your reality, you can create your future that way. And will be reflected back to you. But yes, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You can reach out to us. There are communities out here that are available for people to work with, and I don't think Anyways,
Yeah.
that's all I really wanted to say about that. But back to our topic at hand. Um, Luna Ash really, her last video was really focusing on grid work, like
Yeah.
the crystalline grid work. And she said she recently went to New York and to Manhattan to do some grid work. And I found it interesting because I created this meditation video I sent to you guys and a few other people for like a beta testing, but I haven't released it yet. Anyways, that meditation is very similar to the visualization that Aluna Ash is saying to do, which is grid work. So we were doing grid work without even consciously being aware that that's what we were doing. But it's visualizing, grounding yourself energetically to the planet and bringing out that energy from the planet, and then connecting to the sun. You connect through the light, through your higher self, go through that to the sun, with like a cord, attach yourself to the sun and go through the sun, because the sun is just like a stargate. It's a portal to the central sun, which I don't know what that is. That could be Sirius. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
you said that ancients called that the spiritual sun, right? And that's what
Yeah.
the central spiritual sun. So maybe it is, but I don't have a picture of it in my mind, so I just go through the sun and go to the central sun. And then you bring that energy down your cord, and you bring the energy up from the earth, and you meet in your heart. You keep that in your heart. It's like a heart activation, and you're in that love space, and you just allow it. And then you bring the energy from that central sun and bring it all the way through down into the ground it down. And that's doing the grid work.
Right. Right. You was talking about meditation. I was going to throw in there that one of the main things, to simplify it, because a lot of people try to tell you to meditate. Everybody sits down, they try, and they can't be still, and they can't stop thinking about the grocery list or the bills or where they got to be and who's pissing them off. And if you got to keep going at it. But here's the thing about, if you're going to be a creator, you have to be able to create stillness within yourself, by yourself, your body. You have to be able to make yourself sit down. You have to be able to make yourself focus on your breath. This is how you get control before you can start to create your reality. You're already creating your reality, but if you're wanting to shift it and make it a more positive thing and have more hands-on and have more, to do with it, and you're not letting other people create your reality and you're a victim to that or whatever, you're actually out here in the forefront of it. You have to get a hold of yourself. You have to sit down and be still. You have to gather yourself. You have to calm down, tell your body, set your ass down, tell your mind, shut up. And you have to do this. You have to get control of yourself, because now, once you get to that place, now you're in control. Now you're in control. You can't control anything if you're constantly, I can't even sit down and be still. I can't even sit down and be still. I'm so worked up. I can't even. If the world has got you that way where you can't even sit down and be still, dude, you need to sit down and be still. I mean, you need to say, you got issues. You need to sit down and calm the fuck down for 15. If you start off 3 to 5 minutes, do it that way for a week, and then go to 7 minutes. But you got to somehow find a way to get control, and then you'll start to see, okay, I can calm this. If I can calm myself down now, and then as I'm going to work and this dude cuts me off and I can back off of that, and my boss says something and I can, now you're starting to control things. Now you're starting to shift the way you think. Once you start to shift the way you think, the people around you will start to reflect the way you're thinking. Now you feel like you're being a part of something. You see the positivity in it. You see the positive results in it. You feed off of that. It feeds off of you. It's a loop, in the collective. And once you start to get into this mindset, instead of being in that, the mindset, like, you could easily go and join the Hillary camp or the Trump camp or all these and get in that mindset, where you think like that because of all the other people that are thinking like that. Well, this here is a group of people that don't think like that. We're thinking about love and whatever. you start thinking that way, you join that collective, not those other collective. You're not in that, you're not in the web of that thought. Now you're in the web of this thought. Now you're in a whole different group of thinkers. And when you think and it feels good and it comes back to you and there's this loop cycle, you realize you're not alone. You're not the only one. Then you start searching out, just like you said, you found me or I found you or however it went down. You're going to find these people because you're moving and you're shucking and jiving and you're moving different ways now. You're in a whole different path. You're doing different shit. If you keep going, if you fall back into that, just shift back. Just when you fall back, shift back. That's why meditation is so important, because it gives you that daily reset. It's like a reset button. It's like, and you focus like we do with our water. Whether pouring the water, you know, I was telling you about the structured water. I had that video about it. And we do that. I'll do it 3 times through each jug. Then I put it in our jar that has love wrote on it, little hearts and whatever. We got styrofoam cups that says love. But to me, whether or not that restructured water helps me or whether doing all that really helps me, the fact that I'm conscious of it and the fact that that's my intention, I put that much attention to my water. So my water, it has memory too. It has to respond to me. And when it comes into me, it knows that I'm drinking love. That's what I'm thinking. And it's gonna be, that's what I'm thinking. That's what it's gonna be. Become the water becomes you. You know, be the water, man. You know, be the love. But anyway, back to the meditation thing. It's just a way that you can get a hold of yourself and get a hold of this situation. It's the one thing that you can do where you're a part of it and you're kind of like controlling something, and you, even just for a few minutes, you can calm everything down. And when you do that, though, that's when all of your insight comes. That's when your subconscious and your higher self and your spirit guides and everybody can communicate with you. And they're not the loud voices. They're the quiet voices.
Yeah.
It's the ones that you hear that are saying, you're beautiful, you're magnificent, you're wonderful. But you don't listen to them. You're late, you're fat, you're ugly, you know what I mean, or whatever. You're poor, whatever you're hearing. You need to wipe them away, listen to them other voices, because they're going to get louder as time goes. The more you meditate, you know, and then then it just becomes easy. And then it becomes, I don't know if you're here, I'm sure you are, you have to do it. If you don't meditate, you have a shitty day. You're like, what is going on today? Why am I, blah, blah, blah. And then you realize, I didn't meditate today. And you'll sit right down. Right in the middle of, I'll turn down, you know, have her go outside, do whatever. And I'll sit there and just breathe and just get myself back together, man, and get back to being in control of me, because I want to control me. I don't want everything else out here, because there's so many things that are influencing, controlling.
Well, that's the difference between things happening to you and happening for you.
Yeah.
With that control you have of your own stillness. If you can, I love how you said that, because I just listened to Joe Dispenza say that today in that video I talked about earlier. He said, you got to tell your body, you know, talk to it like an animal. Sit down, be quiet, sit still, you know, like this is what we're going to do. We can eat in when we're done, you know, I'll feed you when I'm done, you know, whatever. We can get a drink after this 15 minutes. And really all you need is 10, 15 minutes a day. That's plenty of time in this energy to balance yourself. And if you're starting, you know, 5 minutes is perfect. I found a 5-minute meditation a couple months ago and sent it to my brother. I don't know if he ever did it, but he's that same way. You know, I think he'll get a really good, he'll get something out of this part of this show, all of this show really. But that's so important. If you can sit down and be still, and even though if your mind's still racing, that's okay. It's gonna race. Let the thoughts happen. What you do is you step back. I pretend like I'm a little tiny person that's sitting behind my eye. So I'm sitting inside of my head, looking out of my eye, observing what I'm observing. You're observing, you know, the thoughts that are going on in your head, because they're not really your thoughts.
Yeah, and when you start to do that, when you let them go through, when you observe them, you literally observe, why am I having this thought? And what is it why am I having this thought? And what is it that that triggered it, you know, and you start getting into like the nuts and bolts and the meat and potatoes of why, you know, you're constantly in these certain thought processes. A lot of times it's like, you know, we would always say there's some stuff you need to work out. There's things that, you know, and a lot of times, to me, at least in my experiences, I always find out if it's something that I can't seem to get over, it's because I'm the cause of it. And I've not accepted that yet. I keep blaming that other person. I keep thinking, oh, this son of a bitch. Da, da, da. And then, you know, when I finally realize that it's really something that I'm doing that is really causing this, or it's something, an insecurity about me that's letting them annoy me, or letting it weigh on me so heavy, is because, you know, maybe what they're saying really is true, you know, and maybe you got to look at that and say, you know what, maybe I am a douchebag, you know, maybe I am a dumbass, or whatever they're saying. And once you do that, it's like, boom, all this weight comes off of you, and it's like the shit goes away, and you're like, that's all I had to do was, you know, figure out what my involvement was.
And that in turn will change the way they act towards you.
Yeah.
Because you like their higher selves are working in conjunction with them, even if they're not awake, for you. Everything is working for you always.
Right.
So they're being that way to reflect to you, to show to you what, you know, that
we need to work
adjustment.
On. Yes.
Yeah.
But especially if it's family. I think especially if it's family. You know, because there's you guys, you know, you're so intermingled with your DNA and your blood, and there's so much a part, you know, they're really a part and an extension. Everybody is really, and everything is. You're all everything. You're a part of everything. But your family is, you know, if your hand is always aching, every time you turn around, your hand's aching, and you will never, you refuse to look at the fact that you keep putting it under the hammer over here and it gets pounded, you know. And then finally you realize, I'm the one who keeps sticking my hand over here and letting my sister in it, you know. It's not the hammer's fault. It's not her fault. I put my hand right in the way, you know. But yeah, you know, you do really start to realize that you're intermingled and intertangled, and that, you know, if it's something that keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming, it's a lesson you know, you are like pounding yourself over the head with it. And it's, you know, it's like there's two yous. One is trying to get the message to you, and the other one is going, why is this happening? What's going on? You know what I mean? Finally, this dude wakes up. It's like, go, stupid. And you're like, oh, okay. You know, now I get it, you know. And then you move forward. And that's how you do it. It all takes work, man. This is like, this is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah. And it seems like the higher you go in frequency, the more that anything, you know, and I had talked about this in one video. I said it's like you're wearing white, and just one little mud ball or one little oil drip or so, it's like, oh my God, you know, you know, just one little thing can just, because you're in a different place now. You know, you were in the mud, and one little drop of mud didn't, you know, you're like, oh, I'm covered in mud anyway. Now you're in a higher frequency, so that low frequency shit, I mean, it's just like weighs on you. You're like, oh, I can't take it. I can't take it. You know, it's bringing me down because you've been up here. Yeah. You know, it's like being in shape. It's like, you know, playing basketball like Jordan, and then you go out there and throw up bricks all day, you know, and you're like, man, what's up? What's going on? Why am I, you know, because you know you've had a taste of that playing like Jordan. You know, you've had a taste of it, you know. That's where we're at. We get that taste of being the high life, you know, the good shit, being up on top shelf. So when we come back down here, it's like, it hurts way worse. It's pain. Just a little bit of pain is like a lot of pain. And then, like you said, you know, the universe is working in our favor. I mean, to purge all this and the pain we all been going through, it's actually been for this moment right here. We've got our slates cleaned. We've got the shit behind us, most of us. And now we can make these moves if it's, you know, if it's in your desire, if this is what you want, man, now's the time, especially if you've been purging all your shit and doing your shadow work. Now's your time. That's what you've been doing this for, you know?
Yes. Oh, So a few more things that I had written down when I was researching more about this. Um, Aluna Ash said in her in the description of her thing, or maybe it was on the Patreon thing that I am part of. Um, said there's a new solar grid connected to the central sun is being activated through this portal, through this. So she's stressing, and everyone's talking about the heart. You know, it's the heart chakra, the heart center. Everything is a heart, 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 heart. It's so important because that's where everything flows from. Like if your heart's activated, it's going to push all that energy up and out, and it's like your brain's more activated. It's like the driving force to open yourself up to this higher frequency. and
Right.
and doing the grid work, you know, you're bringing the energy from the planet to your heart and from the central sun down to your heart, and then you ground that central sun to the planet. You are effectively anchoring the new crystalline grid structure in. So what she said is that there's 3 or more people that are doing this in the day. So it doesn't have to be at the same time. So if me, you, and Africa did this visualization meditation every day, at whatever time during that day, as long as we did it in that day, that's like I forget what she said it was, but it's like that's the grid work. With you can do it by yourself in small groups, but if you're there, like I think it would be more powerful if it's me in Africa and you and maybe Kim. I don't know if she meditates that much, and then Ed and Sherry, because where our locations are, it's kind of like a triangle almost, you know.
Yeah.
Or at
Right.
least it's more spread out, so we're widening that grid and having a larger perimeter, I guess, of our grid work and how far that can
Right.
go. And that's the point. I think a lot of the point is us meeting our soul family, our soul tribe like this, and what we just did together in for the 4th of July, that retreat that we did, and we are creating that we get together to do this grid work. So we come, you know, we're traveling. We're all from different walks of life, from different places and different experiences, but we're drawn to each other, and we connected through synchronicities, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's absolutely intended to be that way. You know, we set that up for this to happen prior to coming in here. And
Just
and
like we
so
set up, just like we set up YouTube. This is how we knew that we would have to be able to communicate worldwide. You know, we knew that we would have to have a free and open exchange of energy and information. And somehow, some way, we created a way, and here it is, and here we're doing it. You know, and it's like, this is not by coincidence, or this isn't by accident. This was something that we had planned. We knew that we would, during this time, need to rapidly, quickly, immediately be able to communicate and send the energy to him, and him to send it there. Now it's going from London to China, from China to America, and it's, like you said, it's the grid. It's the grid work, because they go out, everywhere there's a cross, everywhere it crosses, that's where the energy is. So you're this way, I'm coming this way, boom. There, she's over here, I'm over here. So we're literally, like you said, connecting it, grounding it, holding the light. Yeah, good stuff.
yes, 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 yes. So we're at an hour already. So the last thing, I think we already touched on it, is, I wrote the importance of staying centered, balanced, and aligned right now. And I said going within is more important now than ever before. Like
Right.
right now. Like if you're just starting, then now's the time. You have the winds in the sails, winds at your back, pushing you along. You're guided. You have guidance. You have support. Everything's working out for you always.
Right.
So take advantage of that if you're interested in shifting your frequency, because that's what the planet's doing. That's what a lot of us are doing, and that's what a lot of the collective is going through that too. Really, not so consciously, but everyone's frequency is being raised on this planet, and I think what Luna Ash said also, and I'm going to link all these videos below, but she said that in the future, in the something coming up soon, that they're going to start combining the frequencies. So they're gonna like the love and hate frequencies, I guess you could say, the duality. So the lower frequencies and the higher frequencies. So like the way I think of it is the people that are on this ascension journey consciously and aware of raising their frequencies, and the people that are just being drug along with it. And they're gonna like match those frequencies to bring everybody up on the same plane. That's how I saw it. I don't know if that's how it's gonna happen, but that's just
All
how
right.
I envision it. So definitely, if you're interested in it, if you're interested in any kind of help with any kind of alignment energetically, we are energy healers, so you can contact us, and we can work that out for you. I mean, that's really what jump started me in this. Like, I was awake and I knew what was going on, and I had so many issues I needed to resolve and move on from and heal from, that it was like so overwhelming. I didn't know where to start. And then I had my first a healing session, a distance healing session, and that just like blew my mind, and that gave me that self-empowerment to take the action that was needed for me to continue on my journey. And
Yeah.
and look what's happened in the last 7-8 months. I mean, it's powerful stuff. So if you're interested, if you think, and at the least case, there's scientific studies now that this healing aligns your energy centers. Isn't
Right.
that crazy? That it'll
Yeah.
balance your chakras out. So if nothing else, do it for that, or if you just want to have some fun or whatever.
And those are things you can do yourself too. Like it's like we was talking about with the meditation and
Yeah.
by constantly, being positive, putting things positive out there, by being in that love energy, just you can literally get your flow. It's quicker if you're being pulled to a healer. If you're being pulled and you resonate with that and you feel that's for you, it would be a faster process to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But if you aren't being pulled but you want that, then you can do that. But I
Yeah.
did want to say that anybody out here right now, whatever little thoughts you have, like you see yourself, like you have this vision of yourself and it's kind of funny, and you're like, you see yourself as a second, you was like, man, when I was a kid, I did want to be that. This is the things that you need to listen to. These are things that probably why you can't, what your life purpose, what your story was when you came here to live out this story. It's gotten sidetracked. It's become, your dad's vision of what you should have been, or, your mom wanted you to go to this college and become a anthropologist or whatever. And, so you're sort of living, a lot of people are living out what their parents wanted for them, or maybe what your wife wanted you to do. You're at a point now, though, right here and now, where you can be you, the real you, the kid, when you was a kid and you had those dreams and you started becoming a teenager and you started thinking, yeah, and then you just got influenced by everybody else and all this other shit. You went off doing whatever. And now, 30 years has went by and you're like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And a lot of people are sort of stuck because they got 20 years in a job, 5 more years to retire or whatever. So they're like, I can't leave now, which I understand. But, as far as who you are and the person that you want to be and what you think of yourself, when you have these little thoughts and these little voices, you need to listen to those. And somebody tells you, hey, so-and-so's in the town, you need to go see that dude. I mean, right now, when somebody you haven't seen in a while comes out of the woodwork, or somebody calls out, there's something there for you.
Yes.
Start fishing around to see what it is they're trying to, because they may have called you to say, hey, how's your mom doing? I heard she got sick or whatever. But they may have just started a job, something that you love to do in a place that you love to be. And once you get that conversation going, you're like, you got to be shitting me. Oh, man, I'm on the way, So just be aware, listen to everything, follow your highest excitement right now, especially. I mean,
Yes.
go.
It's never too late to make a change. Never too late to start over. Never too late to wipe the slate clean and completely reinvent yourself and rebuild yourself. It's never too late to do that, ever. And then I really liked what you said about all of that. That was like a really powerful message right there, buddy. I really love that. Also with the healing, if it resonates with you, if you're being pulled to it, great. But also with I wanted to say, a lot of people you can achieve the balance yourself very easily once you know how to do it. But if you don't feel the frequencies yet, having a session will like really start to bring that out, and then you can do it yourself. Like we do 15-minute sessions. It's for like $44. So I mean, it's easily accessible for everybody. That's why I wanted to do it that way. But once you feel it, once you can do that, like that is an empowerment to. Like that's a superpower. You know what I mean? Like that's how I see it. I feel like a kid with the superpower, and I want to share it with everybody. So, all right, that's my spiel. And I love that show. This was a really powerful show, and I hope everybody watches it to the end. We've been talking for an hour and 11 minutes.
That's good.
Perfect. All right, man. It's been real. Until next week, we'll have to do this again soon. And everybody, keep doing what you're doing. Huh?
I said we're gonna pump this one out quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be out quick.
Yeah, this one should be out tonight or tomorrow morning.
Dig it.
It's already 6 o'clock where you're at, so I probably need like 2 hours. So probably tomorrow morning then. Very good. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, we love you. If you have any questions, you can email us or contact us, and be the change that you want to see in this world. We love each and every one of you.
You're beautiful. You. Every one of you are beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
I said so.
Spread the love.
Yes, sir.